And you got the end of term email. What did it say about footwear?
It said you're not allowed to wear anything that looks like a trainer.
And so what did you buy?
I bought them kickers. I bought school shoes, which are comfortable. They do look trainer-like, but they're not actually classed as a trainer.
We've got 3 sets of shoes on the table here. This is the patented version of the ones that you bought. We've got the trainers here, which are not allowed, and then we've got the Clark's ones, which are approved by most schools. And so, what happened when the girls went to school?
So they actually managed to stay out of trouble, but they were, as they walked into school, loads of people, they were being checked as they walked in for their school uniform. They got their phones taken away and they got plimsolls put on. And they had to walk around in plimsolls for the day and have their phones taken. And then they got told that if by Monday they're not wearing proper school wear, they'll have a lunchtime detention every day that they wear these shoes.
As a parent, these are £50 shoes. These are not cheap. You've got twins, so that's 100 quid. So by Monday, you're meant to have bought new school shoes, even though these actually are, somebody's rung kickers and spoken to them, these are school shoes, not classified as trainers, not good for sport at all.
As one of my daughters said when she came out of school, Mum, if I wore these into the PE hall, they would tell me that I can't wear them for PE, so why should I wear them? Why should I not be able to wear them for school? If they're not a trainer for PE, then therefore they're a school shoe.
Yeah, well, and in order we've got a reply here from the school. In order to respond to parental concern, we are happy to allow kicker Tovney school shoes by way of a positive compromise, say the school. This, we hope, will bring the matter to a close, probably to stop it being discussed on television, allowing us to concentrate on the more important matters of teaching and learning, which is precisely why they all went there in the first place.
Problem solved.
Thank you very much indeed.
You,
let's talk to our next one. We've got Sophie now. She's got a son called Jake. Jake had the wrong trousers.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, he had black school trousers on, but they didn't have the small Bourneside logo on, which they'd asked for them to wear because the store didn't have them in stock and they are on order.
And you were aware of this, so you sent him in with a copy of the receipt of the trousers that you'd purchased, and a note saying it's going to be 3 weeks until these come through, but they're black trousers. Is that OK? And it wasn't.
No, they were exactly the same as the Bourneside trousers. He walked to the gate. There was 2 teachers. He handed them the letter and said, you know, they refused to read it. They basically said, you're not to come on the school ground, you're to go home. And he rang me up, near in tears, saying, Mum, they won't let me in the school. They're saying I need to go home.
And he was pretty upset anyway because that first day of school is nerve-wracking.
It is, and he'd recently been diagnosed with dyslexia, and it was his first day sort of going in with this sort of label, if you like, and he was already on edge about that, and then to walk in and not even be able to get in the grounds.
Yeah.
You know, they weren't interested in what he had to say, and they wouldn't talk to him, they wouldn't speak to me.
Oh. And you had to leave work to go and pick him up.
Yeah, well, I had to drive down to work because nobody would talk to me, and I sat there with the receipt saying, look, I've not been defiant, I've bought the trousers, they just don't have them in stock. And I said it can take 3 weeks, and they basically said we won't educate him for that time. They've now backtracked.
Well, yes, I've got the statement here. I can confirm that from Thursday the 7th of September, if you have placed an order for a new skirt, pair of trousers, and this has not yet been received by the supplier, we will allow your son, daughter into school.
Common sense
prevails. For that, until the order arrives. Thank you very much indeed. Listening to those stories, I mean, you can't... I appreciate the importance of a uniform. I appreciate the fact that it's great for... It's a great life lesson. You know, you go to work, you'll be expected to dress in a specific way, depending on your job. But this just seems ridiculously heavy-handed by a bunch of jobs-worth teachers.
Job-worth teachers. You know, head teachers do have to be strict with rules, but my heart goes out to those children and the parents, especially the little boy who couldn't be let into the school grounds, because at the end of the day, they're children and their feelings matter and they shouldn't be made to feel like that.
And isn't that an important life lesson?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, and these shoes on the table, I can't see any problem with any of these shoes.
So what about parents? Because parents and teachers sometimes are at loggerheads when it comes to this, and surely parents and teachers should be working alongside each other.
Yeah, definitely with communication. If there is an issue with the uniform, then have a conversation with the parent and explain why, not just turn the child away with a piece of paper.
But also, there'll be many parents saying, if I take my child out of school for a very important family day or whatever, out in term time, I'll get a letter, I could get a fine. But with impunity, the schools can send them home because they've got the wrong shoes on.
Yeah, they can be sent home because they've got the wrong shoes on, but should we be sending them home? Because you never get that time back. An hour's lesson, you never get that time back, and we are there to teach the children.
So you're saying that the schools are wrong to send children home?
I think there's a very fine line. I think there are some cases, for example, with the shoes or with the trousers, where I would have been more flexible. But then there are other times when parents, for one reason or the other, are being more deliberately defined, and that's a different story.
And that is a different story.
And there's things behind that reason.
OK.